Hey everyone, it's been a while. In fact, the last proper devlog for this project was almost a year old and probably a lot longer. So let's change that. Today, I've got a massive update for you. We are talking new bosses, new music, overhauled systems, fresh new world generation, and a new look for the whole game. Let's get started with the stars of the show, the bosses. First up, we have the Desert Hydra, a multi-headed fireball-spitting nightmare. It's fast, aggressive, and will keep you moving. Then there's the Slime King, deceptively cute, but packs a serious punch. Both of these bosses have unique attack patterns, arenas, and rewards, making each fight feel completely different. Lastly, for the new bosses, is the Golem Phantom Tsunder. Now, this boss, without going into spoiler territory, has a lot to go for it, and is also actually the first boss you will encounter in the game. This boss gives you a special accessory. Now, I won't really go into the mechanics here, but that'll be much later on in the video. New music! Boss battles, overworld exploration, and dungeons now all have their own original tracks. The music dynamically shifts to fit the mood. Calm when you're wandering, intense when you're fighting for your life. Now, the soundtrack, I have posted a couple of the clips before. Well, correction, a couple of the soundtracks before. We have both phases of the Tsunder fight, and what you're hearing in the background is the music for King Slime. Onto the probably best part of this video, new world generation. What I have done here was taken from an awesome channel that at the time of recording this, I don't exactly remember, but I will post their channel in post. They were a great inspiration for how I should probably do this world generation. It's pretty efficient. I am using multi-threading to do a lot of the chunks, but I mostly do chunk data, which then Unity's tile map system will then flood fill the corresponding tiles that are necessary. The world generation system also incorporates pretty much an endless amount of biomes, depending I have the room for it. But with more biomes comes more world scaling. But so far we have the deep ocean, which is still a work in progress, the snow, which is also a work in progress, and the two biomes I am currently working on, the plains forests and the desert. Now, of course, you're going to need tools and items to survive. So I've added a whole bunch of new items, weapons, tools, consumables, each with unique stats and abilities. On top of this, I have added new crafting mechanics, similar to games like Terraria, where while you might have the right materials, you need to be at the right station to craft the items. And so far, we have the workbench, the furnace, the anvil, and the cooking pot. Now, the furnace works like forager, or even core keeper, where you can run up to it and straight up drop your ore in there, and it will just cook it for you. Nice, simple, easy, stupid. The game's visuals have also had a huge glow up. We have much more details in the sprites, a new style based off Zelda and games from those eras, while trying to keep it to the same sort of look as Forager and maybe Necessi in that kind of sense. While I have been hard at work developing the game, I've added a few really cool mechanics that I think would be awesome to talk about. Now, in previous devlogs, you've seen the building mechanics, and it could be a lot better. So what I am pleased to show you is a much more intuitive building system with a lot of quality of life additions. Originally, with the building, it was place a block one at a time. Place any item one at a time. Now what you can do, and what eventually I'll add a toggle button for you, the player, to pick, is you can drag a box selection tool, and this will basically place as many tiles as needed. You could go crazy with it, really, and it's nice. One of the next mechanics I'm going to talk about is the farming system. Now, this is easy. This has been in the game since early days, but I have never really talked about it into too much depth. You till the ground underneath becomes a tilled ground tile, which then your seeds will shoot a raycast, and if those raycasts interact with a tilled ground tile, they will place a growing prefab with specific crop data allocated to them, and after a certain period of time your crops will grow and you can harvest them and you can use them for cooking. Which leads me on to the next mechanic, which is the food and hunger system. This is straight up just copy paste from a lot of games. You need food to survive. What can you say? So the first items that have been added are carrots, turnips, and carrot and turnip soup. Now, there are the Mooglin chops, which you can get for killing a Mooglin creature, which you've seen probably running around in the B-roll of other videos. These guys are so cute that you kind of feel bad for killing them, but you do have to eat. So the next food item will be adding the meat. And lastly, one of the coolest mechanics I've done recently is the bomb mechanics. This is pretty much just your stock standard projectile explosive, and it is modular enough that it's in the item system. If you go and do this yourself, probably don't do what I did. All my item data is stored in one scriptable object instead of making child objects, so like item being the master and then like food item being a child of item, that kind of thing. And maybe I will flesh it out a lot more in the future, but I think for now it's fine. I'm here to make a fun game. I know I'm not the best coder, but I've scrapped this game so many times that I'm just like, I need to stick with it and see how we go. Back on track. The bomb mechanic lets you throw the bomb from the player, and it shows a little cool decal underneath, like a fake shadow underneath the bomb, which has a curving arc, which gets dropped towards the mouse cursor, which in return lets you blow up things. A quick quality of life feature and a new system I've added in addition is the UI has had a huge glow up. It's not final, and it is very much most likely to change. But something cool compared to the last time I showed the UI is I now have item equipping. So you can equip so far 1 accessory and 3 different pieces of armor, head, chest, boots, that kind of thing. This uses a really cool system that I've seen other videos use. I can't exactly find a tutorial on it because I sort of brute forced how I've done it. It uses Unity's sprite library feature, which lets me basically make different sprite frames for all the armor pieces. So there's a base sprite, which in this case is the player. Enemies like goblins and skeletons and whatever uses the same sort of base frames as the player use the exact same sprite library asset, which in turn allows them to copy animations. So for 90% of the creatures in the game that use the base player have the exact same animation controller, which is so good. It is great. On top of that, so does the item equipment. So now there are item layers, which means instead of the bald guy that we see, I can now add additional layers like hair, clothing, accessories, different body types, and possibly different eye and head types as well later on in the future. This has been one of the biggest updates to the game since I started the project. It's been a very long time since an official devlog, and this technically would be devlog 2, with it going in depth with how much I've added, same as the first ever video of this project. If you want to follow along with development, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me which feature you're most excited about, and I have a job for you. Let me know in the comments below what sort of creatures, boss ideas, or features I should add to the game that could be fun. And hell, the most liked one, I will see if I can fit it in the game. Whether it's an item like the Chalice of Ham, or something like that. As long as it is safe for work and not ridiculously crazy, some of the top comments might get added to the game in the next video. So again, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.